Imagine walking through your neighborhood early in the morning, only to stumble upon a shocking scene: an elderly man lying on the ground, his wheelchair stuck in a drain, injured and helpless. This is precisely what happened in Paya Lebar recently, leaving many residents concerned about public safety. Welcome back to 2230, your trusted channel for detailed and factual news coverage. Today we're diving into the story of a cracked drain cover that led to an unfortunate accident, highlighting the vulnerabilities faced by our elderly community members and the infrastructure issues many of us simply ignore, until it's too late. The incident occurred at about 6 a.m. on the 6th of November beneath Block 121 Paya Lebar Way. According to reports by Shin Minute Daily News, a 73-year-old man, Mr. Fong, who relies on a wheelchair due to limited mobility, suffered injuries to his head and knees after falling from his wheelchair. The accident happened while his helper was pushing him around the estate on the way to a nearby coffee shop. His wheelchair became stuck in a drain whose cover had cracked, sending Mr. Fong tumbling forward and hitting the pavement. Can you imagine the shock of such an experience, not just for Mr. Fong, but also for his 45-year-old helper? She herself fell to the ground during the incident, overwhelmed by the suddenness of it all. The elderly man was left with a blooded forehead and knees, leaving the helper desperately trying to clean his wounds using tissues until passers-by came to their aid. One of the kind passers-by even bought Mr. Fong a drink, which shows the community spirit that still exists in Singapore. We want to take a moment to recognize the quick response of these strangers who helped Mr. Fong when he needed it the most. Mrs. Fong, Mr. Fong's wife, later explained that her husband's mobility issues were a result of a stroke he suffered in 2008, followed by another unfortunate fall that led to hospitalization in 2014. He now has a pacemaker due to heart problems and needs a wheelchair to move around. Despite their situation, every weekday morning, the helper pushes Mr. Fong to the local coffee shop for breakfast. And it's the only way, the only route they can take to get there requires crossing the drain with these problematic covers. Now, Mrs. Fong shared that about 3 months ago, they had noticed the drain covers were starting to develop cracks and even had small holes in them. Despite this, there was no other choice but to keep using this route. Mr. Fong himself would often remind the helper to be careful while crossing, but on that particular morning the helper forgot, and the wheelchair's front wheel got trapped in the opening. The resulting fall left Mr. Fong not only physically injured but also deeply shaken, describing how he felt scared during the fall. It's noteworthy that they chose not to take Mr. Fong to the hospital afterward since he wasn't experiencing symptoms like dizziness or vomiting. Nonetheless, the wounds still cause him pain, particularly when showering. Thankfully, they appear to be superficial injuries. But the question that remains is, could this entire accident have been avoided if more attention had been paid to maintaining the public infrastructure that many rely on daily? Interestingly, after this incident, the broken drain cover was replaced by Marine Parade Town Council on the very same afternoon. In a response to Shin Minute Daily News queries, the Town Council mentioned that they had reached out to Mr. Fong, replaced the broken drain cover, and proceeded to inspect other drain covers in the area. They also shared that there are ongoing works under the Neighborhood Renewal Program, which include upgrading the drain covers. However, even though the broken drain cover that caused Mr. Fong's fall was quickly replaced, there are still many other covers in the area showing signs of wear and tear. Shin Minute Daily News reported that some covers are unstable and even move when stepped on. This raises concerns. How many more of these cracked drain covers are accidents just waiting to happen? Will this unfortunate incident spark the necessary changes to make our neighborhoods safer for our elderly and those with mobility issues? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this issue. Do you think enough is being done to ensure public infrastructure is safe for everyone, especially our elderly community members who depend on safe pathways? If you or someone you know has had a similar experience with poorly maintained infrastructure, do share your story in the comments below. Let's discuss what more can be done to prevent such accidents. If you found this news coverage insightful, do give us a thumbs up, share this video with others to raise awareness about the importance of safe infrastructure, and don't forget to subscribe to 2230 for more in-depth news and analysis. We value your engagement and your voice matters. Together, let's push for safer public spaces for everyone.